So I saw something today having to do with Chris Unbiased that I didn't like. This is the issue when you're trying to be uncompromised media and be unbiased, but at the same time have relationships with people in the battle rap community. Let's talk about it. Bro. I wasn't even going to do it. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I made a blog earlier today. Of course, nobody's viewing it, you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't have to do with controversy, right? I noticed that when I blog on more controversial things is when I'll actually get some kind of traction to videos. But I made a blog earlier making a prediction about how Little Dawn and Geechee Gotti, and also discussing what might happen with the hardcore belt now that Stumbles gave it back to Midnight Madness and Sue Surf. Nobody views it. So I decided to make the second blog today. It has to do with Chris Unbiased, right? Chris Unbiased, I rock with Chris Unbiased. I appreciate the content. I appreciate the words of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the knowledge. I just appreciate that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I saw a blog drop earlier today regarding the Stumbles versus Snake Eyes situation. A little documentary, little mini doc that I'm sure, Chris just decided to put together. You know what I'm saying? BRC loves that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of views in an hour or two. You know what I mean? So, people want to see this type of thing. I thought it was dope. I was watching it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. He's touching on the storyline. He's touching on, where Stumbles came from. He's touching on, where Snake Eyes came from. And he's touching on the situation and the build up to what ended up happening with the hardcore belt. In this blog, he did include and touch on Snake Eyes and Stumbles being on the same card at one point, Initiation, which is where, ironically, no pun intended, the situation between Snake Eyes and Stumbles initiated at Initiation. There was a huge argument that broke out, blah, blah, blah. Somebody got physical. Somebody decided to touch the other person. And from there, we all know how that goes. While Chris Unbiased was speaking on the Initiation card, Chris Unbiased named some people, battlers that were on the card, just so that we knew and had an idea, if we didn't know who was on Initiation, of who was on it. That's it. Named off some people. One of the people that he named off was Henny as part of being on the Initiation card. You know what I'm saying? Named off Henny. Maybe 10, 15 minutes later, right? I go on Twitter. This is after I get out of work. I go on Twitter and I see a post by Henny saying something about Chris Unbiased basically speaking badly on Henny Man's name. And pretty much Henny Man bringing up the fact that his name is constantly in somebody like Chris Unbiased's mouth. But at the same time, believing and being under the impression that Chris Unbiased mentioned his name in a negative way. Not only that, right? But then I saw something else regarding this mini doc that was just released today that really bothered me, right? I saw Tony Bro put up a post saying if Stumbles would have won this if Snake Eyes would have won this battle, would Chris Unbiased have done a mini documentary? This was a post that I saw shortly after I saw Henny Man's post, pretty much calling out Chris Unbiased for having his name in his mouth in a negative way, right? That's what Henny Man is under the impression of. So obviously Henny Man didn't watch the documentary, but instead somebody likely told Henny Man that his name was mentioned in a blog. Believe it to people, right? This happens to me. This is why I have kind of an issue with these two things that happen with Tony Bro and Henny Man, because this happens to me, bro. I will make a blog and specifically speak about a very specific topic and or situation and make a very specific point. But then you'll have people either in the comments or wherever completely taken out of context what you said completely misinterpreting what you said, completely just twisting and turning everything you just took, however long the video was, however long that was, you took that time to elaborate, fully explain, and articulate your thoughts as it pertains to a specific situation, right? You just did that. But then you'll still have the Henny mans who will hear one word or not even watch the blog and hear something about it and start to be like, oh, why is my name in your mouth? Oh, why are you speaking negatively on my name? Oh, my name's always in your mouth. This type of thing. Constantly happening, bro. Constantly happening, bro. And it happens to me on my blogs, which is why I take this kind of personal, because it's like, yo, you can't even make a blog about something, bro, without people having an issue or a problem with what you're saying, bro. Like, that's what it is in this community, bro. You can't be honest. You can't be neutral. You can't speak your opinion or your mind. You can't do anything without having to face some kind of, like, you just can't. Bro, I watched the blog, right, that Chris dropped. There was no negativity in this blog whatsoever. There was nothing negative. He literally actually just took time out to give us some content, to give us the story, give us a documentary, give us the information that some of us might have been missing. That's what he did. That's what he did. But then you got people like Henny, man, you know what I'm saying, who are sitting there talking about, oh, bro, Henny, man, he mentioned your name one time in the whole 45-minute blog, bro. One time. And it was listing off your name as a part of a list of other battle rappers that were on that card, bro. At no point in time did Chris Unbias say anything negative about you. Dude, it's nothing like that, bro. Nothing like that. So it's funny when I see this post and I'm like, bro, yo, Henny obviously didn't watch or even listen. He did, but yet feel so strongly that he was being spoken about in a negative way. Henny, man, take a moment to listen, bro, to watch the blog or the documentary, bro. Like, if you really feel that strongly and you really think that somebody's speaking, at least listen to it and watch it, and you'll see yourself that nothing negative was said about you, bro. I don't even think that you're not even a topic of conversation for somebody like Chris Unbiased. Like, I don't even think I remember Chris speaking on Henny. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just saying he doesn't speak on Henny Man nearly enough or nearly as much as Henny Man thinks he does, because I don't recall even Chris speaking on him. Again, that's not me saying he hasn't. I'm sure they probably had an issue or two, but Chris is not constantly speaking on Henny Man at all, bro. At all. As a matter of fact, again, I don't even remember Henny Man coming out of Chris's mouth besides this blog that I just watched, bro. So it's like, bro, some of y'all, bro, people in general need to stop doing that, bro. Y'all need to stop doing that to me. Y'all need to stop doing that to Chris. Y'all need to stop doing that to bloggers and people in general, bro, and listen to what's being said and what the conversation is before you try and add your 2 cents into it, bro. But then here's what got me too, bro. The whole Tony Bro thing and that post with him asking the question, if Snake Eyes would have won, would you have made the mini documentary, bro? This is the thing. When you have relationships in the BRC and when you're cool with people, people are going to expect things from you, which is one of the reasons that I don't do that, bro. I don't go out of my way to get to know any of these guys. I don't do none of that, because then I'm going to feel like, damn, I might not be able to speak on this the way I want to. Damn, I might not be able to touch on this the way I want. That's what it comes down to, bro. So for Tony, bro, Chris Unbiased is going to do what he does, bro. Whether Snake won, whether Stumbles won, whether it was a tie, it doesn't matter what happens. Somebody like myself, somebody like Chris Unbiased is going to blog on what they want to blog on, bro. We're not going to blog on what you guys want us to blog on. If that were the case, Chris said it himself, he would have joined with URL and been doing what Nunu and Jay Black is doing with Caps, if that was the case. But that's not the case, bro. So for Tony Bro to be asking that type of question, Tony Bro himself being a media personality, so Tony Bro should understand, bro, how that looks, bro. It looks like you're expecting for a Chris to be compromised, to speak on how you guys want him to speak on things, to address the things that you guys want him to address. That's what being uncompromised is, Tony, bro. I don't know if you really understand that or really even understand how that came off or how that comes off. But that comes off as controlling. That comes off as like you expecting this media personality to do what you want him to do or to abide by what you guys want him to abide by. And again, bro, that's not how this works, dog. Like, bro, Henny man, Tony, bro, that's not how this works, dog. Like somebody like Chris is going to blog on what he wants to blog on, whether you guys like it or not, bro. Same with me. I'm going to touch on things that I'm going to touch on, whether you guys like it or not, bro. It's on you guys to either receive it or not receive it. But it is not on you guys to be telling me how I need to go about doing things. It is not. At that point, if Chris is doing the things that these guys all want him to do, Chris becomes compromised media. Now you become compromised media because now you're doing the things that they want you to do and need you to do. Which is why these things pop up, and I don't understand how people don't understand that there are compromised media places. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of these media places are absolutely 1,000% compromised, bro. And they're going to speak on what the brand wants them to speak on. They're going to speak on what the machine wants them to speak on. They're going to speak on what the company wants them to speak on. They're not going to speak on the things that they want to speak on, bro. Some of us don't want to be a part of that, bro. Some of us don't want no parts of that. Because we just not like that, bro. We're built differently, bro. Like, that's just what it is, bro. So when it comes to that situation, bro, and Chris dropping that mini doc or whatever it was, but then him getting that type of like backlash or questioning from like a Tony bro and like a Henny man, and I even seen people agreeing with Henny man, bro, a bunch of people that didn't even listen, or that's an issue, bro. That's an issue. And it's an issue, and I take it personal because that happens to me all the time, bro. All the time. People won't even listen. They'll read a title, hop in your comments, and start commenting without having listened. Nothing. Don't even understand what the conversation is. But they're hopping in the comments because they just want to be seen and want to be heard and want to just talk. This is crazy, and I'm not feeling this, bro. I'm not feeling that, bro. Chris, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Yo, even that whole title thing where Tony bro contacted Chris Unbias to change the title. If Chris felt that the title was gonna stay, then it's gonna stay. Like even that, I was like, bro, for me, I would not change the title to anything. That's what I put, that's what I felt, that's what it is. But again, that's what happens when you have relationships, you know what I'm saying? And you have respect for people and you know people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just weird, bro. It's just weird, bro. It's weird because I'm watching the doc and I'm like, and then I'm watching some of the backlash and I'm like, bro, this man did absolutely nothing wrong in this documentary, bro. Like what but you got Henny man over here coming at Chris's neck because he's under the impression that he's talking smoke about him. And then Tony bro's over here asking, oh, if Snake Eyes won, would you have made a documentary then? Like on a condescending type of tip, you know what I'm saying? Like condescend, like he really means something else. You know what I'm saying? You're saying something, but you really mean something else. That condescending type tip. Like, bro, this is just nasty, bro. That's nasty work, yo. Chris, you keep doing what you doing, bro. Keep doing what you doing, bro. Forget about all that other, man. You already know what it is, bro. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the back.